What's crazy? Oh my God, are you like? Is he frozen?
Nah, but I'm pretty good at that.
That was really good. Wow, that was scary.
At random time.
He didn't even blink. Like,
no, that was. I'm a little thrown off now because that was really, really creepy. But yes, we are here. Flyers pregame show, the Ginger Thread Flyers pregame show, presented by Branded Sports. And yes, it's not just your typical Walsh and Kelsey. We have, for the first time ever, the CEO of Branded Sports, CEO Joe, is here live on air with us. What's going on?
Not much. Well, I mean, a lot. There's a lot of things going on, but not much is going on. Viget, make sure you go download the app, use promo code Branded, download it. Great fans, hashtag Great Fans cover. Not a lot happening, guys. I'm actually super pumped now that Sixers are in All-Star break. They don't play again until a week from today. I'm all geared into the Flyers. We got Pens tonight, which listen, you guys were little tiny itty bitty babies, but in 2008 through 2011, when I was in, college, and it was Flyers Pens and it was a blood rivalry, these games.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, you may be old, but I was there. All right. I was at those Flyers Penguins playoff series games from 08 to 11, sitting in the crowd, watching Scott Hartnell do his thing, which if you listen to Ginger Thread,
I did.
Well, quick plug. Our good friend, our good buddy, Bill Clement, has officially landed us Scott Hartnell to come on the Ginger Thread podcast.
Yeah. Can we talk about the fact that he just
drop that
on air? He's like, yeah, let's get Scott Hartnell.
Well, the best is you heard like the text message go off, and I'm like, what is he doing? Like, he knows we're recording. And he was like, I'm just going to read this conversation I'm having with Scott Hartnell, like, while I'm on with you guys. And I was like, okay.
It was an awesome clip too.
When it happened, I was like, oh, he's got to go. Like, we're going to have to cut this short. That was my first thought. And then he's like, yeah, so I guess we can just go live with this now. I'm currently texting Scott Hartnell. Oh, yeah, he'll come on. I was like, whoa, what?
Like, things are happening. Things are moving right now.
I was like, this is not – he didn't just say that. But he did. And, yeah, so hopefully within the next couple of weeks we'll be able to get Scotty on, and that'll just be awesome. I mean, he fits the Ginger Thread to a T.
Yeah.
That's true. No, did you guys see, speaking of the Ginger, I saw on Twitter, I don't know where I saw it, probably like New York Times. I feel like they always have shit like this. There's like a ginger mouse. Anybody see that? They say I
did not see that.
Called the golden mouse, but if you look at it, I mean, it's a redheaded rat. I mean, that's all it is. Top to bottom, just a redheaded rat. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, you gotta.
I saw it and I immediately thought of you guys. So, for better or worse.
I don't know if I was gonna say. I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's probably not
rat
good.
And no, that's not what I want to hear coming from the CEO Joe.
Not great.
Right.
But you're here to talk Flyers. We got, like you said, big game tonight. Flyers Penguins. Tuesday was ugly, to say the least. Started off as a pretty boring game. And the defense of the Flyers just decided they just didn't want to show up Tuesday night. Not sure what happened. Everyone from top to bottom looked bad. It wasn't even just one guy. When your best defenseman, Ivan Provorov, doesn't have a good game, that's a problem. And the Penguins took advantage of that, and they took care of business. It was as simple as that.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys listened to radio this past week. We had Rush Joy on, and one of the things I tweeted at him at the beginning of the season, I was like, so like, what should my expectation level be? 1 to 10. And he was like, it should be like a solid 9.2. He's like, I think this team has what it takes. But he said, he's like, as long as they avoid injuries, as long as they avoid like COVID, and he's like, and bang, bang, 2 weeks into the year, they were getting hit with both of them. So I know that he's a little bit down on in that sense, but I asked him, I was like, all right, so where then is our excitement level at? He still thinks expectations should still be pretty high. He's like, but the defense has to figure it out. Like, they just have to. So he thinks that they're going to try to get a little bit of depth. So that way that third line is going to be a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, this team is one defenseman away, in my opinion, from being where they need to be. Whether it is a just solid third pairing guy or a veteran to pair with Provorov, because I think that, to me, that's where I see the biggest difference. We lost Matt Niskanen in the offseason. Not to say that Provorov has struggled, but he hasn't been Provorov like he was last year without Matt Niskanen next to him. So you can see the clear difference in this year's Provorov and last year's Provorov, and it's not something I like to see because we saw what he did last year and it was just incredible. Now without Matt Niskanen, he's not the same player that he was. And I would like them to get some sort of veteran to go with him.
So, yeah, let me ask both of you guys then. Who would they get, and who do you actually think is a realistic get?
I think Matthias Ekholm is the guy. He's on the Nashville Predators right now. They're a team that they should be better than they are, but I mean, I think their window has gone past them where they're not going to compete for Stanley Cups anymore, at least for the time being. He's a veteran. He's, I think, got 1 or 2 years left on his contract. And we're at a point where it's kind of like the Sixers. We're in win now mode because we have everything we need to where we should be competing for a Stanley Cup every year. And you go out, I'm okay with trading a first round pick for a rental player at this point because the way that it looks, we're going to be picking late in the draft anyway. Not to say that it's not important, but if we're trying to get over that hump and be that team, you need to deal your draft picks. And I think Ekholm is probably the one that I'd be going for. Other than that, not really too many other veteran defensemen out there that I would really want to go for. If I'm Chuck Fletcher, I'm still calling Matt Niskanen every day, asking him if he wants to unretire.
Are you done fishing? like Mac. And I think we also had this conversation about like who would we want, like if there was a trade. And we have talked about Shane. I mean, Shane has been good, but the game the other night, Shane was letting players go by him. He was behind. Like both Ivan and Shane had 2 players in front of them and scored on Carter. And so it's just like, who do we want to see kind of just like let go at this point? And I think it's kind of hard to decide because we haven't seen the best of the defense. So we don't really know who works, who doesn't work.
Yeah, for sure. And the frustrating thing is that it's like you have these great games from Shane Gostisbehere, which this year has been a lot more great games than bad games. But then you have a game like Tuesday night where he makes a bad pass and it leads to a goal. It's like when he makes a mistake, it always ends up costing us. And it's not his fault. It's just he's got that kind of luck, it seems like. But we'll see what happens.
Once, it was twice in that game, though.
Right.
So.
Right.
My frustration with the Flyers lies on the gambling side because a team this inconsistent is tough to gamble on, and I want to gamble on a game I'm going to watch. So if I'm watching a game, there's like a 99% chance I'm gambling on it as well. So if I'm watching the Flyers, I want to gamble on them, and they're killing me. They're killing me from a gambling standpoint. Absolutely killing me.
They have been a pretty decent team, though, in covering this year. You just are probably picking them on the wrong nights.
That's exactly what it is. I'm picking them on the wrong nights. I'm also a big sucker for the exact goal line. Oh, I play exact goal lines all the time. Sucker for it. It's huge odds. You got to do it. I can't not do it.
I mean, I don't know how many of the pregame shows we watch. We usually give out some winners here. I mean, we're pretty good at picking goal scorers.
All right, give me a winner right now, and I'll take it live.
Well, I don't know if you want to do this because, listen, you already know
you're a god-awful gambler. I know.
I am a god-awful gambler. I am so cold right now. It's not even funny. Like, I'm colder than I've ever been in my life. Although I will say this, I did pick up a win in a college basketball game today. It was the Dayton. I had Dayton minus, I think, 3, and they covered that. So I hit on that. So maybe it's a good thing. And they're the Dayton Flyers. So the Flyers are playing tonight. So I'm thinking.
All right. Well, here's what we're working with. Ready?
All right.
Flyers money line minus 118, Pens plus 100. If you were going to take money line on either one, what would you take?
Flyers, 100%.
Okay. So then if you think the Flyers are going to win by 1, then why can't they win by 2? Where I could get puck line minus 1.5 at plus 195.
Because this is a division game, and division games when it comes to these two teams are very tricky where it's like, yeah, you can make the face all you want, but it's true. All right. Listen, I've been on that side of it where the puck line, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, the Flyers should win this game by 2. And then like a game against the Rangers where they're up by 2 with like 8 minutes left and the Rangers get 1. And then the Flyers just can't put an empty net goal home. Like the amount of times that they don't score the empty net goal is alarming. And it's like, okay, well, I wish I would have just taken the money line.
Over under 6.5.
Under. So so this is what you should do.
Under's got a lot of juice right now. Under's minus 134. I can't do it. You like Flyers money line. I'm taking your Flyers money line. We're gonna toss money on that.
I was gonna say Flyers and the under would be my pick tonight. If you wanted to combine both of them.
Game on. That's it.
All right.
Flyers money line.
If you lose, it's not my fault.
100% is because you told me to take it. You said if we can check tape, we can't watch it right now, but we'll run it back. Oh, Flyers money line? Absolutely. 100%. There's no more convincing me more than that.
Fair enough. But I also am on record on this show saying that I will never pick against the Flyers while on this show.
All right. Well, I mean, I need a winner because I got my dick rocked in the stock market today. Just rocked. So we'll be back. Don't worry, it's a long play, but I'm just saying I could use a winner.
I hear you. I need a winner bad because, like I said, I am ice cold right now. But let's get to the game a little bit. Flyers will be down Joel Farabee. He is back on the COVID list.
Yeah.
Well, not back on the COVID list, but he's on the COVID list. And the Penguins get Crosby off the COVID list. So obviously,
I mean, now I feel like you're talking me out of my pick that I just made.
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The Penguins have a better record without Crosby than with Crosby. So I'm not saying they should trade him, but you might want to think about it.
Is Elliott in net? Did I see that correctly?
Yes, he is.
Moose is in net tonight, who's been stellar this year. We got a first comment. Reese, can we get a union show going this season? I don't know. I mean, my union MLS fandom is on two sides right now. Me and the Minnesota United are like BFFs. So we can maybe get some union going though.
I mean, Mikey, how much do you like the union? Are you good on camera? I mean, let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation, Mike.
No, he's not good on camera. Right, I know Mikey, and he's not good on camera.
He takes amazing photos. You gotta give him credit.
He's good behind the camera. Yeah, he's a good camera guy. Like he'll take a great photo for you. But he's not
a good camera guy, not a camera guy. I got you.
Right.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man. Gotcha.
Exactly. Yeah. So Flyers without Farabee, Moose in net. I think Jari is getting the start for the Penguins, and Crosby's back in the lineup. I'm still confident in the Flyers, though. This has been a team that I feel like I say this every time they lose and we do a show. They're a great team at bouncing back, but it's the truth. They are. They're a team that doesn't really go on long losing streaks like we've seen in the past. AV usually has them ready to go, and I think they know how important this game and Saturday's game are to where they're going to play the way that they should. And I think they realize how bad they played on Tuesday night to where it's like, all right, well, we got that out of the way. Now let's get this thing back rolling again. So that's where I'm at.
How old is Sidney Crosby?
He is, I believe, 32, 33. Maybe he's 34. Yeah.
How in the world is he only 33?
See, that's the big thing that everyone always forgets. NHL players, when they're that good, they start at like 18 years old.
Well, even like Giroux's like right around that age, right?
Yep.
And Giroux, I remember watching. I feel like I watched Giroux play for the last like 26 years. I feel like he's been playing hockey. Yeah, I mean, I want to see the Flyers start to put some wins together. Like I said, they've been super inconsistent. I feel like ups and downs, back and forth. So I need to see them string along some wins here so I can feel comfortable, because when they get to the playoffs, I think your Stanley Cup champion is in the East somewhere. So I think getting through that is going to be tough, and they need to start showing that they can consistently win.
I'm with you. But at the same time, they only have really most of their losses come from Boston. So there's only one team that they've really struggled against.
But you're on a collision course with them.
100% you are. Yeah, absolutely. And I agree. Like, we need to beat Boston in order to be that team that comes out of the East. It's definitely going to be hard, especially if we end up at this point, I can't see us getting the number one seed in the division. Like, I don't see us winning the division at all. No. Just because we've already are 0-5 against Boston. But if we can at least get the 2 seed, go up against, I'm going to say maybe Washington. Like, I like our chances against everyone in our division other than Boston. The Islanders still make me nervous because their team, when they get hot, they are pretty much unstoppable.
Yeah.
In a 7-game series, though, I'm not worried about Pittsburgh and I'm not worried about Washington. I mean, they're both good teams, but I think we should be able to take care of business against those two teams at least.
Yeah, I agree.
You're pretty much already set with the East.
I got to run. I will be watching this bet all night, and if it loses, Walsh, you're fired again. I don't know how many times you've been fired, but you're fired more. Okay.
Definitely would not be the first time. So
not even the 5th time, I don't think.
No, we might be getting close to double digits at this point.
You're getting close. Kelsey has a lifetime contract, so you're not going anywhere. So your thread will soon be her show once again. I gotta go.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Show. Playoff time. We're going to be doing some pre-games live at a bar, I assume, right? Like we got to get that
100%.
Dead serious about that. Okay.
We got to figure something out.
All right. I'll see you guys.
We will talk
later.
All right. So that was CEO Joe joining us for the pregame show for a little bit. Yeah, Kels, what are you thinking for tonight?
So my first initial thought was like R.I.P. Farabee because he's been so hot, like that line, like playing with JVR, playing with Coots. But I feel like anyone that they put in that line, like, is gonna feel that chemistry that's already been like kind of formed. So I feel like anyone that goes in there should be able to like pick up. I think it's unfortunate. I mean, I think it's gonna be a close game. I feel like now that Sid is back in the lineup and TK is back in the lineup, I feel like there's going to be some chirping. I kind of feel like there might be a fight tonight, which I don't mind. I would love to see this happen because, as we know, Battle of Pennsylvania, Penguins and Flyers are a huge rivalry. So, I mean, I'm nervous, but I'm excited to see what happens during this game. And I think that first period is going to be really telling because Tuesday night was like a doozy. I literally texted you. I was like, this game is boring. Like, you need to take over Twitter because I am not entertained at all. I was like, this is horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't great by any means. The way I looked at it, like, I want to say I didn't think we were physical enough. Like, I mean, they were definitely throwing the body around a little bit. And can we talk about your guy, Mark Freeman, just getting bullied? Like, I don't know that he was liked very much. He was taking hits from everybody.
But I kind of think like maybe it was like some kind of like grudge, like you went there, or like maybe like he low-key knew he was going to be put, and like that's why he asked to be put onto waivers. So like you don't know any backstories whatsoever. But the fact that like Raffle and him, I was like, what is happening? And then Malkin and Coots going at it, and I was like, what? Like, if there was a fight like between like two vets, like, oh my god, I'm like, let's do it, like, let's rumble. But yeah, poor Mark. I hate seeing him in yellow and black. It like literally makes me sick. I'm like, ew, it's so ugly. Like, come back to orange. But yeah, he was getting bullied. I mean, I think the physical presence needs to be stepped up definitely in the Flyers, and I think taking Knack out kind of showed, because I feel like Knack was like the person to be like throwing his body and like taking hits and like being able to handle that pressure. And I feel like he was like a silent but deadly like key player that we didn't really know that we kind of needed on the ice. So yeah, that's how it was. Yeah,
I mean, like I said, I don't think they weren't not physical, but they just definitely weren't physical enough. And I think that was kind of the frustrating thing. And I'm not gonna sit here and say the Penguins like bullied us, but these are important games. These are division games. I mean, every game this year is going to be a division game, and it's like this is your most hated rival. And I know we haven't played them since the beginning of the season. It's been almost 2 months, but like, show some energy, go out there, hit somebody in the mouth. Let's get the boys going, get the blood flowing, get everybody into the game. And, you know, I think they'll benefit from that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's like any kind of hockey game. Like, I mean, it's not like how it used to be, like where back in the day, like there was the Broad Street Bullies. But I mean, if you have that mentality, like have players fear the Flyers. And I feel like right now, like I feel like they kind of can sense that there's something missing on this team and that they just like walk all over us at this point.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't know. I haven't really seen anything about the lineups with Farabee coming out. So
yeah, they said that was game time decision was the last I saw.
We're still unsure of who's going to be taking his spot on that line. I would assume Knack. Or you maybe bump somebody up. I really don't know.
Would you consider putting TK on that line and then putting Knack back into his line with?
Yeah, because I think that would. I mean, not that he's not going, but I mean he's just getting back into the lineup. So I think that's a good spot for TK. I mean, we saw what Coots was doing. We saw what Farabee was doing. So like, I think it's a good place to put Konechny, try and get his goal scoring back.
Yeah.
So I don't hate that idea. And like I said before, I liked that Raffle, Bunneman, and Knack line when it was together. So they provided a lot of energy, and I think they can continue to do that. So yeah. I'd be okay seeing those three back together. I don't know if we'll see any changes on the defensive side of things.
Yeah.
But maybe you see Gustafsson in the lineup. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see what AB decides to do. Still got about 10 minutes till 7:00. So some changes I'm sure will be coming. The important thing, Brian Elliott is in net, which again, this isn't saying Carter Hart was bad the other night because he wasn't. I mean, he's just the defense was horrible.
Incredible saves. Like one save, I was like, "What?" And I think he even shocked himself because he looked back and he was like, "Oh, it didn't go in." Like,
yeah.
So he made some pretty incredible saves, and I mean, the empty net goal was a really unfortunate situation that occurred right at the end.
But it was and it was a turnover again.
Right, and like that's not his fault. Like,
right.
He has no control what happens down the other side of the ice. So like he can't like, and I felt bad. Like he did like make an effort to try to dive to like at least try to deflect the puck, but that situation I feel like was a very poor decision, not decision, but just like an overall situation. And
it was just bad luck.
And yeah, and I feel like a lot, like once again, like here comes Flyers Twitter, like going off about Carter Hart. And I'm like, relax, like calm down, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the kid's still only 20, 21, 22? How old is he now? 22, yeah. So like, I'm not worried about the guy. Like, he's going to bounce back. He's having a rough year, but I think the only thing that I think they need to do is definitely give Elliott a little more time. Like, split up the starts a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to see that a little bit here. And especially with this next stretch coming up. And hopefully more than anything, Farabee is just a precaution thing. And it's not something that ends up turning into what we had a week ago where the Flyers are shut down.
This is what I'm telling you. They had to be extra careful because you don't know what, like, why Sid was on, like, sketchy. Maybe, like, Sid was, like, coughing or something.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like, he's back tonight, so it's like, obviously he wasn't experiencing any symptoms. Like, I'm assuming it was probably a false positive test.
Right.
And then he probably took 3 more tests because he was on it as of this morning. And then when they did the new one release at 5:00, he was off and he's playing tonight. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, hopefully it's not a huge thing and we're not shut down again because that would suck.
Yeah.
Especially right now. We got our local Penguins fan. It's going to get really ugly with El Captain back, something more like 8-2. Much more. Not going to happen, Joseph. Not going to happen. No. Do not do that, okay? This is not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, but
God, that guy, I tell you, he's something else. We might have to bar Penguins fans from commenting on the show. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but I'm gonna figure it out. All right. So give me what are your predictions for tonight? Give me the score and who's scoring.
My predictions are gonna say 3-1. Gonna go 3-1.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say Hazy. I feel like Oscar for some reason.
Okay, I don't like that. I don't hate that.
I'm gonna go with Coots. Hazy, yeah. Hazy, Oscar, Coots are gonna score 3-1. I feel like Elliot's gonna have a really good game, but it's the Penguins, so they're at least gonna score once. So that's my thought process.
Fair enough. Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a close game again. I think it's going to be lower scoring. What exactly that's going to be, I don't know. I'm going to say, let's see. Oof, what do we do here? I'm going to say 4-1. I don't know why. I'm feeling a little bit of an offensive outburst tonight from the Flyers. A little bit. Not too much, but I think, like I said, it's going to stay under that 6.5 goal mark. So I think 4-1 Flyers win. Nolan Patrick, Hayes,
good, yeah.
Konechny, and Voracek. Those are my 4 goal scorers for the Flyers.
Yeah,
and Crosby for the Penguins because it's like clockwork.
Right, he's coming back
when he plays us. Yeah. I hate saying that, but I mean I feel more confident in that than I do the Flyers to win the game. Bad to say it, but I mean, the guy just kills us every time we play against him. Frustrating as all hell. But we will see what happens. Puck drop about 10 minutes away now. Yeah, I mean, just hope that the boys are ready to go tonight, and I just hope the defense is much better than what it was the other night because that was miserable to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
We shall see. No pregame show on Saturday, unfortunately, because I have to work, which sucks. But we'll be back next week for the games. I think what do we have next week? Or actually, do they go back? They're on Sunday, right? Yeah,
Sunday,
that's right. Yep. Sunday. So Sunday, we will be back with you.
In.
We're still trying to get tickets. Still trying to get there. But we will be back Sunday for our pregame show, Flyers Capitals, Sunday night at 7:00. First game back in Wells Fargo Center with fans in attendance. So the building is going to be electric, even though there's not going to be that many fans there. There's still going to be enough to make some noise. And yeah, last but not least, go Flyers, and hopefully the boys get a win tonight. So